Thank you all. Secretary Sun and Secretary Cacdac will make their opening remarks first, and then there will be a Q&A session. Mr. Sun, please.
Thank you. I'm going to first speak in English, and then we'll repeat it in Cantonese. So today, Secretary for Migrant Workers of the Philippines, he's coming to Hong Kong. So this is the second time we meet in Hong Kong. The last time we met is on the 9th of November, when Secretary came to Hong Kong to officiate the opening of the largest center in Asia for Filipinos in Hong Kong. So first of all, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family of the deceased foreign domestic helpers. At the same time, I wish all those who were injured in the fire a very speedy recovery. We are truly grateful to their selflessness and also their heroic act during the fire, because many of them, they are taking care of elderly, children and babies in Wangfu Court. Let me briefly sum up the support we're going to provide for those who unfortunately died in the fire or injured, for foreign domestic helpers who died at the fire. Apart from the statutory compensation, which will be over 500,000 Hong Kong dollars, they will also be receiving a one-off financial assistance of 200,000 Hong Kong dollars, plus another 50,000 Hong Kong dollars of support. So adding all together, for foreign domestic helpers who died at the fire, they will be receiving roughly 800,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's roughly equivalent to 100,000 US dollars. For those who are injured, they will be receiving also a one-off financial assistance, either 50,000 Hong Kong dollars or 100,000 Hong Kong dollars, depending on the period of how long they are staying in hospital. For those who survived the fire, we'll also be providing them with 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. And for those who are either injured or surviving the fire, we're also providing them with an Octopus card with an amount of $2,000 as well. Let me also give you a quick update about the number of foreign domestic helpers in the Wangfu Court. So according to the information available to us, there will be a total of 235 foreign domestic helpers working in Wangfu Court. So among them, according to our record, 10 died at the fire, 3 are injured, 192, they are safe now, and there are still 30 who are missing. 容許我用廣東話講一講。非常感謝菲律賓移工部部長再次嚟到香港。上一次我哋見面呢係11月9號，當時呢部長嚟到香港係主持喺金鐘嘅有一個為香港嘅菲律賓工人而設嘅一個中心。今次嚟到呢，好多謝部長，我哋呢有一個衷誠嘅傾談，亦都得到佢大力嘅支持。我向佢解釋咗喺今次宏福苑大火裏邊不幸身故嘅外傭呢，佢哋會得到第一，我哋法定嘅補償。法定嘅補償呢，我哋初步估計呢係會超過50萬嘅港元。除此之外呢，佢哋會得到一次性嘅20萬，再加上5萬蚊嘅補助。即係呢，我哋估計喺一次大火入邊不幸身故嘅外傭呢，佢應該可以得到呢每一名呢係大約係80萬港元嘅補償嘅。至於喺今次大火入邊受傷嘅外傭呢，同樣我哋會提供5萬或者10萬元嘅補助嘅。呢個慰問金呢係視乎佢喺醫院 逗留嘅時間長短而係定嘅。除此之外呢，就所有喺今次大火之中得以逃生嘅所有外傭呢，我哋都會提供2萬元嘅慰問金嘅。除此之外，無論係受傷定係曾經喺宏福苑工作，而家呢係安全嘅外傭呢，我哋都會提供每人一張面值有2000蚊嘅八達通嘅卡。呢個我同部長都講咗啦，部長亦都表示對於我哋做嘅工作呢係表示感謝嘅。另外呢，我想借呢個機會呢，都同大家講一講，最近大家都留意到呢，當宏福苑大火發生之後呢，好多社福機構呢第一時間去到現場提供佢哋力所能及嘅一啲援助，大多呢係現金嘅援助。由於時間匆匆呢，佢哋好多就去咗現場做派發。佢哋都係出於一片嘅善意，希望盡快咧幫到受影響嘅居民。但係無論係我哋嘅線團啦，或者政府咧，都留意到咁做法咧，對於居民嚟講咧，就要不斷要填表嚇，亦都覺得咧影響咗佢哋嘅生活嘅。咁所以今天咧，我同10間香港主要大嘅慈善團體咧就見咗面嚇。當中傾談好多關於救災嘅工作，亦都講咗點樣派發啲善款嘅安排嘅嚇。咁大家都一致同意嘅，就將來而言嚇，已經派緊嘅，當然我哋等佢派埋啦嚇。將來而言呢，其實佢哋都有好多唔同類型嘅資助想派俾受影響嘅居民。我哋都請佢哋咧，通過我哋一戶一社工去處理嚇。即係意味係咩意思咧？隨住一戶一社工嘅落實咧，其實每一名社工都掌握咗佢哋要幫助嘅住戶嘅資料嘅。咁即係話咧，我同佢哋講咧，係唔需要叫住戶再去申請啦。只要佢講清楚，我哋會有個小組同佢對應嘅。佢只要講清楚佢哋嘅資助嘅辦法，譬如話不幸身故，佢哋會俾幾多嘅資助；受傷資助幾多，咩類型資助幾多嘅話咧，相關社工就會睇翻佢哋嘅資助嘅條件同埋內容咧，就會自動，當然佢要同我哋嘅住戶傾一傾咧，會替我哋住戶去做申請嘅。整個申請流程咧，由個社工去做翻嚇。住戶只需要，如果需要簽名，簽個名啦。當攞到譬如話支票也好，或者唔同類型嘅發放嘅模式都好啦，我哋嘅同事、社工或者相關嘅公務員咧，係會聯絡翻個住戶，一係就親自將張支票送到佢居住嘅地方，或者按照佢希望我哋做嘅方法咧，幫佢去處理收到嘅善款嚇。當然我哋理解咧，除咗我哋慣常接觸嘅大嘅慈善團體以外咧，香港有好多唔同類型嘅慈善團體咧，都想做出一分力去幫助嘅。如果喺我哋發現咗有啲團體佢去到現場想擺檔，或者佢哋有一啲咁嘅諗法嘅時候咧，我哋會第一時間打電話聯絡佢，提一提佢就其實佢唔需要再用一個現場形式要大家每一張表去填嘅，可以通過我哋一戶一社工幫佢處理晒所有呢啲大家善心想幫居民嘅一啲捐助同埋財政嘅支援嘅嚇。係借呢個機會咧，我都想同全港唔同各自嘅慈善團體咧，作一個咁嘅呼籲嚇。我哋希望可以做到咧一站式，省卻咗居民要不斷去填表嘅需要嘅。呢方面咧，我哋希望可以盡快可以為佢哋提供最好嘅幫助嘅。喺呢度咧，我交翻個時間俾部長。
Thank you. Thank you. I just had a somber but highly coordinative and highly cooperative meeting with Secretary Chris, who has become a dear friend to us, and expressed the utmost expression of sympathies in behalf of our President for the loss of life and injury to Hong Kong residents as a result of the fire, and gratitude to Hong Kong, the Hong Kong government, and the Hong Kong Labor Department for all the assistance provided to our dear domestic workers, overseas Filipino workers here in Hong Kong. More particularly to those who had been saved or marked safe. Definitely the Hong Kong Labor Department helped us with, in terms of reaching out to the the Hong Kong employment agencies in terms of accounting for, at the time, a few days ago, the the names of domestic workers whom we needed to mark safe or needed to determine their exact status. There was also help from the Hong Kong Labor Department with respect to providing us with access to the shelter with the Home Affairs Department. Also, there was help in terms of the providing provision of an inquiry counter for the Philippine Consulate General through our Consul General Israel in terms of providing assistance to our nationals, to our domestic workers in the District Community Center in Taipo. Also, there's been help through the Hong Kong Labor Department in terms of connecting us with the Immigration Department in terms of restoring the immigration documentation of our workers because many of their belongings and their documents were lost in the fire. In this connection, we are also in the midst of cooperation with respect to the injured, and we're so thankful for the successful medical procedure for our national who was initially in critical stages and brought to the ICU, but with a successful medical procedure, and should I say an innovative one, she has been saved and is on recovery mode. And we're hoping to have her home soon with her family. Also, there's been great assistance with respect to our lone fatality thus far, and we hope it stays as one fatality. Already the family is being assisted, and very soon with the cooperation of the Hong Kong government and the Hong Kong Labor Department, her remains will be repatriated to her family. We have also been cooperating in terms of ensuring protection and provision of services to the survivors as well as to the family of the deceased. And so we're thankful to Secretary Sun and the Hong Kong Labor Department for all the assistance provided to the survivors as well as to the injured and to the family of the deceased. For sure, our President had given us instructions to provide the necessary assistance to all of them as well. And these efforts complement definitely the efforts of the Hong Kong Labor Department. So we are also on hand to provide, among others, financial assistance. And Secretary Sun and I had discussed the matter on counseling with respect to those who may have suffered or are suffering through trauma as a result of the incident. The President has also asked us to help the families back home. So I also did mention to the good Secretary that we are providing school assistance at least to the children of the one who is injured and the child of the deceased OFW. So all of these things have been brought to the fore, and it's unfortunate that we had to meet under these circumstances. We just met a few weeks ago under better circumstances, but as I had mentioned, for every crisis, there's always a chance to strengthen our partnership and our coordinated relations, and that definitely was in full display these last few days. And we're thankful to you, sir, Secretary Sun, and the Hong Kong Labor Department. So rest assured there will be further cooperation from both sides. And now more than ever, I should say, now more than ever, starting with the harmonious relations of Hong Kong employers and Filipino workers, there will be strong bilateral relations between our side and the Hong Kong side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
QA
Secretary.
session. This lady.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sun. So you mentioned that there will be $800,000 offered to the deceased foreign domestic helpers. Would this be for their families, and how can the families claim this amount of money? And also, who will be responsible for the funeral expenses of the helpers who lost their lives in this tragedy? Is it still the employer in this case? And for Mr. Cacdac, I mean, in what ways will the two governments help families of those who are still unidentified or missing in the fire? And has any families in the Philippines sought help from the Philippine government? Thank you.
Thank you. We're working closely with the consulates for those who are going to claim assistance from us, we'll work through for the Filipinos with the PCG, the Council Generals of the Philippines. Number one is to identify, to confirm that they are the one, and then we were going to distribute through in Hong Kong through the Labor Department, where we worked with the consulates. I think the key is we have to make sure that only the genuine family members are eligible to claim the financial assistance for those helpers who died in the incident. So rest assured, we'll work closely with the consulates to make sure that the money is distributed to the right people. I think this is very important. I think that the second question is about
for the funeral expenses of the domestic help.
So for the funeral expenses, there are two parts of it. One part is already covered by the statutory requirement. So for all the standard contract we are issuing for every foreign domestic helper in Hong Kong, there is a standard clause to cover funeral expenses. So on top of the existing legal provision, we also provide them with a one-off, non-accountable 50,000 Hong Kong dollars relating to their funeral. So this is an additional add-on one. Secretary.
Yes, I think we've been coordinating for the last few days in terms of accounting for those with addresses at Wang Fu Court. As the Secretary had mentioned, we had a list of 94, and we've been able to account for most, if not all, of those with addresses in Wang Fu Court. Back home in the Philippines, when asked by the media about this, I'm always careful to point out that those whom we are still accounting for are not necessarily missing in the sense that they were at Wang Fu Court last Wednesday. So we've been always careful to say, so as not to worry the families back home, that they were not. Yes, we are accounting for names, but they are names on a database with Wang Fu Court as a stated address for the last 2 years. And we've been able to trace them one by one. Some have returned to the Philippines. Some have moved on to another country. So we've just been very mindful of the fact that they may not be necessarily in the towers at the time of the incident. And thus far, we've accounted for all the family requests back home. We have helplines back home, and we know of no family request that has not been covered at this stage. So the names that we're tracking down at the moment are not covered by any particular family requests, which is a good sign, I suppose. That means no families are particularly worried about any names on the list at the moment.
好，下一條，呢邊灰色呢位。
你好啊，明報啊，首先想問翻呢，頭先局長提到225個外傭啦，想問下係淨係指印傭同埋菲傭啊，定還是仲有其他即係可能當局掌握有冇其他國籍嘅外傭其實仲係喺雲福院入邊工作呢？另外都想問翻呢，即係頭先有提到話一定會確保即係嗰個補償係去到即係正確嘅人嘅手上啦。咁而家如果生還嘅外傭啦，佢哋係其實要翻嚟揾你哋申請啊，定勞工處會即係揾到佢哋嘅銀行資料直接發放俾佢哋呢？另外都想問埋呢，即係工友嗰個情況咧，知道即係勞工處琴日講咗有5位嘅工友咧係身故啦。其實喺現場應該有好多嘅判頭同埋工友。勞工處而家掌唔掌握其實有幾多嘅工友當時係喺雲福院入邊工作啦？佢哋嘅情況係點樣咧？同樣佢哋即係有一個工友嘅補助係會點樣發放俾佢哋咧？
差唔多啦，差唔多。
想問埋最後一個就係外勞嘅情況，會唔會知道有冇外勞係例如保安員、清潔員或者一啲樓宇維修嘅人員係外勞而係喺雲福院工作咧？唔該。
好啊，仲有答覆你啦。第一咧就係據我哋掌握咧，喺宏福院工作嘅外傭咧，應該係我哋呢一刻掌握到係235位，當中咧有94位咧係嚟自菲律賓嘅。有141位咧係嚟自印尼嘅。呢一刻我哋嘅資料咧就冇其他國籍嘅外傭，但係呢一刻嘅啫。一路咧我哋都更新緊資料，呢個第一。第二咧就所有關外傭嘅財政嘅支援咧，我哋都會通過勞工處同相關嘅領事館，主要就係菲律賓同埋印尼領事館咧去做發放嘅。具體咧，我哋同領事館去傾，個目的咧都係要確保咧，我哋俾 外傭嘅所有嘅援助咧，都係可以去到佢哋嘅手，或者如果不幸身亡嗰啲咧，係可以去到佢家人嘅手啊。呢個我覺得要緊要嘅，尤其是我想同大家分享咧，如果佢係譬如佢係菲律賓嘅話咧，啱啱部長同我講咗咧，菲律賓嘅法律有佢哋嘅指定嘅，即係如果身亡點樣係分法，佢得到嘅補助，我哋要跟翻譬如菲律賓為例咧，跟翻菲律賓嘅法律同埋做法，我覺得咁樣咧係最妥當嘅。至於工友咧，啱啱你所講咧，呢一刻我哋掌握到咧係有一共5名嘅工友咧，就不幸喺今次嘅大火入邊咧就喪生嘅。同時咧，我都想提供啲資料嚇，因為對於喺今次大火入邊佢哋生還咗或者唔受影響嘅工友咧，我哋都會提供2萬元嘅補助嘅嚇。咁呢度咧會牽涉我哋啱啱勞工處咧做咗個好快嘅統計，都係呢一刻嘅統計。我哋估計有200幾位呢啲工友嘅，當中咧我哋估計咧應該有160名咧係建造業嘅工人，即係喺大維修入邊咧，佢未必嗰日喺度做嘢，但係整個工程咧佢有份做嘢。就清潔工人咧應該有19位，保安員咧應該有30位。啱啱我留意到你問有冇外勞啊？以我哋嘅判斷咧，應該係冇外勞嘅，因為第一大家都明白，如果係講建造業嘅外勞咧，通通都係通過發展局嘅計劃喺公務工程先至會可以合法申請，然後聘請外傭呢個外勞嘅。咁所以呢個工程不屬於公務工程，所以唔應該攞到任何嘅配額。清潔同埋保安員咧，我都唔留意到呢啲公司曾經申請過外勞嘅嚇。當然如果有我哋手頭上掌握就係呢啲數據嘅嚇。當然如果一路有新嘅資料嚟嘅時候咧，我哋一定會第一時間咧同大家更新。但係以我哋而家掌握嘅所有資料咧，應該冇外勞牽涉在內嘅。
好，下位嗰邊米色衫後面嗰位女士。係，俾支咪。
你好 Now TV 嘅，首先想問翻，即係之前都見到有一啲外勞同埋勞工團體就有啲聯合聲明啦，就話一啲可疑人士用火災去用家屬嘅證件去獲利啦，有冇收到呢啲相關嘅求助或者呢啲嘅情況呢？第二就係如果有啲外傭嘅僱主即係不幸喺火災入邊即係身故啦，咁其實除咗啱啱你提到嘅嗰啲補助之外，有冇其他嘅支援呢？例如佢哋之後嗰啲工作安排又會點樣去即係安排翻啊，或者協調翻呢？唔該。
我諗你係指外傭係咪啊？係外傭嚇。第一咧，我哋都要提醒大家喺大火災之餘咧，我哋都留意到咧，都有啲可恥嘅騙徒咧，都借呢個機會咧，想渾水摸魚嘅，大家要小心嚇。呢個我哋亦都同領事館仔細去傾嘅，亦都係點解我哋咧一定通過領事館去派發，我哋係會俾外傭嘅一啲補助金嘅，呢個第一點。第二點咧，如果外傭嘅僱主不幸喺今次大火入邊咧係身故嘅話咧，我哋會彈性處理佢哋轉僱主嘅要求嘅啊，我哋會彈性人性化地去處理。呢個我哋同入境處咧已經有咗溝通㗎啦，入境處都會提供最大嘅幫助。事實上，入境處而家針對外傭嚟講咧，佢哋好多都身份證明文件啦，佢哋嘅僱傭合約啦，都可能喺個大火當中係燒晒嘅。咁而家已經提供緊緊急嘅服務咧，等佢哋可以盡快補辦翻佢哋嘅身份證明文件，同埋攞翻一份我哋官方都認可嘅佢哋嗰個僱傭合約嚇。我哋而家已經做緊嘅啦。
Next questions. The lady on the front row, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you, first of all, Mr. Sun, for the generous support for migrant domestic workers. Indeed, the payout is generous enough, but I would just like to ask if this is separate from whatever employee compensation that our migrant workers are entitled to under the law, because right now, as I know, it stands at more than 500,000 in case of death, and there are separate provisions for those who are injured. If they are entitled to this, will the Hong Kong Labor Department assist them in claiming for this compensation? Thank you.
You can rest assured, as I made clear in my opening remarks, the Labor Department will help them to claim their entitlement under the law. As you said, for those who died, they are entitled to receive at least around 500,000 Hong Kong dollars as a compensation. So you can rest assured this will do our utmost to make sure they receive it. What I'm saying is, apart from what is provided under the law, this time round there will be extra one-off financial assistance, which amounts to, for those who died, amounts to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars.
Last two questions. The lady has the first.
Thank you very much. I'm from pangyao.org. The question is, for those survivors, the migrant domestic workers, and if there's some of them who are recovering, and for example, they do not have any more employment with their employers at Typo, would they be given an extension of their 14-day visas in order to look for a job if they wish to continue their employment in Hong Kong?
Thank you. We have discussed with the Immigration Department, so you can have a reassurance that we'll be as flexible as possible to help them. So it depends on each and every individual cases, but please be assured that we'll be as flexible and as helpful as possible to help those who are affected in the tragic fire.
好，最後一條問題。第一行呢位男仔。
兩位係港台嘅，頭先提到即係如果外傭好翻康復之後想轉僱主咧，頭先就話即係如果原僱主係不幸身亡啦，咁但係譬如有啲僱主係即係幸存落嚟嘅，佢哋轉工嘅時候係咪都有一個人性化嗰個安排咧？頭先提到嗰個人性化嗰個安排，有冇啲例子舉出嚟可以即係俾大家知道？譬如話佢哋係咪唔使翻去原本個國家度再翻嚟，定係有啲咩嘅措施咧？唔該。
好啊，個大原則咧就入境處會人性化咁樣去處理受影響嘅外傭，但係好難呢一刀切一概而論嘅。呢個我覺得大家要放心嚇，我哋會因應每一個外傭具體嘅處境咧，我入境處已經同我哋表示咗㗎啦，佢哋會人性化地去處理嚇，請大家放心。
好，that's the end of the sessions. Thank you, secretaries. Thank you all.